12th July 2024, and this is another log for the meditation journals. Usually what has happened to me so far is, as I get out of the body and if I don't have any objective, I am pulled back in very quickly. But if I have an objective and I focus on that objective when I'm out of body, then this objective is granted or it acts out. So after that last experience, I have been trying to get out of the body and go somewhere beautiful. However, this has not yet happened. What has happened, on the other hand, is the previous objective I put to practice for this year. So I thought I would meditate and I would put myself a challenge to learn entering into dream from waking conscious state to dream state without losing any consciousness or without entering into the unconscious state. Prior to this, I had tried to visualize my feet walking, and momentarily I would enter into the dream state. Then I would just get startled and I forget completely. And sometimes there would be hypnagogic images, and still I would not be able to enter into those images as dream. But this morning, something interesting happened. So I slept last night with my usual routine of meditating before falling asleep. Then I lay on my bed and keep on repeating affirmations: out of body now, I'll meet my guides, and take me somewhere beautiful. So these were the 3 affirmations that I kept on repeating, which didn't happen, any of those. But at some point in the night, I felt ear pulsations, and I waited for the pulsations to get stronger. But most probably, this is already my second time of thinking that I should actually start moving or try an attempt to get out, even if it's a physical body or non-physical body. If it's non-physical, and I got out of the body, that's what I wanted. If it doesn't happen, then I know it was still the physical body, so then I can calmly go to sleep or wait for the pulsations to return. What I have noticed usually is the pulsations do return despite the fact that I've moved my positions, sleeping positions. The pulsations, if they are there, they return. And I should have tried to get out, but I didn't. I just waited for the pulsations to raise. Another thing what I should have done is use the fader device on my finger, which I didn't do as well. I just waited for the pulsations to come back. Either it didn't, or I just fell more asleep. And after a few hours, the OBE alarm that I use, it was saying, "Be alert, it must be a dream." And the voice from the alarm I heard inside the dream that broke the dream. I felt a little not so good that the dream was broken because I wanted to keep on dreaming. But anyways, this is what I have chosen to practice to understand when I'm dreaming and then try to break the dream. The dream got broken and I was momentarily awakened. Then I just changed my position and then went back to sleep and kept repeating the affirmation and fell asleep. Then at some point, my body was super relaxed. I could feel it. I was seeing vague image of newspaper size big pepper on my hand. Decided to remain for a while and then just follow with this image, whatever is there. And I noticed there's something written in this newspaper, and I tried to focus on what is written in that paper. As I did that, suddenly the paper completely became clear. I could see myself holding this paper, and I was no more in my bed lying down. Instead, I was in that space where I was holding paper. So I shifted without falling unconscious from knowing that it's a hypnagogic imagery into the world of that imagery. Then the position of me holding it was still lying on a bed and I was holding a paper, but I could see around in that room and understand that this is no more the place where I'm actually sleeping. I would not say this is out of body experience. Probably it is, I'm not sure. This is my first conscious entry into dream, so I don't know if it's out of body or not. But anyways, I got out from the bed, I put the paper down and I started to observe the surrounding, and somehow it made me feel that this was my room back in Nepal, but it was different, completely different. Looked outside from the window of the room, and the surrounding was different. It's not as it is at the moment there in Nepal. So things were different. So I started to move around this room, checking different objects and trying to understand actually what had happened, because I knew that this is not real. This is also not a dream, because there was this sensation which happens when I'm out of body, and the sensation was not totally there. Let's say a certain signature of feeling around the body that tells me that I'm out of my physical body. But this sensation has a portion of that sensation, but not like in dream where I do not feel anything of my body. So a momentary out of body experience, I don't know what this is. I need more experiments and more understanding of what is happening there. But then I remember the same sensation of the body was there when I was meditating in this very room, and suddenly I started to feel momentary teleportation. That's what I called in my log, that I would be taken completely into a new place and shifted everything, but I'd be back. Because I think now why I was back and couldn't hold on into this new space is because my body was actually not lying down. It wasn't in a sleeping position. It was just sitting like this. So that would either give me the twist or twitch of the whole body, or my body would be just trying to balance and not fall down here or cause accidents. I think that's the reason. But nevertheless, that was the similar feeling when I had gone out into this new space and then came back immediately. The body had the feeling, this sensation, which is very similar to what I experienced this morning. So I was observing around this room, and then soon I came back to the body. Coming back to the body was also not going through on consciousness, but suddenly shifting of the space, and then I was back in the body. Then I had known, I was thinking, this is strange. This must be entering into dream consciously. This is what it should be. Then I tried again. And this time also I tried to observe different objects, walls and doors and things like that, and it wasn't working. So I thought of bringing back again a big newspaper on my hand. And I tried to imagine writings or letters on the paper, but I could not focus on creating words or whatever on the paper, but the paper was there. And suddenly I just zoop, shifted into the space. And this time the space was different. It had a very soft floor, and I knew that I had just entered from a waking conscious state into this state. So I got out from wherever I was sitting and started to examine the floor. And I put my hand on the floor and released it, and I saw colors where my fingerprints should be, if that makes sense. Glow of light. And that got me interested, and I wanted to see what else happens, and what is this floor, and what is this color that I'm seeing. Is it something that my body is releasing, and things like that. So I went on, I moved around the room and pressed different parts of the floor, and sometimes it would glow very vibrant yellowish red, sometimes golden, sometimes orange. And I tried to see what causes the intensity of the color. It did seem that when I press the floor hard, then the colors are more intense or more vibrant. And I also tried to see what happens if I consciously move the energy down my hand, as we do when working with Reiki or energy balloon, basically. As the energy exited from my hand, I could see it clearly, colorful, passing down. It was almost like seeing the infrared image of gases moving around, but it was directed and coming out from the hand. So I played around with this thing a little bit, and then I got back into my body consciousness again. So all of these experiences started happening around 5:30, because I had checked the time. And from 5:30 to 6:15, I was in REM sleep. Then I was in a light sleep for 48 minutes, and I was in REM sleep again from 7 a.m. to 7:51 a.m. And this part is where all of the experiments entering into this state and experimenting with the surrounding happened within 48 minutes, and then I was in and out. So many things unknown and open for us to explore. That's what I feel. Thank you, and see you in next log.